Hey, everyone. It is the Let's Get Loud podcast with Jane. Hello, Alicia.
Hello, hello, hello.
Ooh-wee.
How we doing over there?
We're doing good. Doing
Yeah,
good.
okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Recording a little bit ahead of time, guys, because it's March break and we all know. No, because we normally just recording ahead of time because of March break. Doesn't even
Because
matter.
of March break. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, March break, right now they're listening to this. March break is done. Kids are back to school.
Oh, nothing better than that. Time is going fast.
Time is going fast.
Like it smells like spring.
Oh, well, right now, yes. I mean, when we're recording,
Who
it
knows?
smells all the things. Yeah. I feel like my vacation, my down south vacation is later this year. So it's like I feel like March is gonna be slow. February was like insanely fast. Like l literally no February happened. January, never ending. February, crazy fast. Like the fact that like we're recording literally like almost the last day of February. So it's like insane. Like when I think about February, I'm like, shit, you man, fake.
Tell
Yeah,
me about when you're leaving again. What's the date that you're leaving?
I am leaving on March 29th.
Nice.
Yeah.
How come
So
you guys chose a later date?
because it was hard to have an Airbnb
Okay.
earlier.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey.
So we went with whatever. I mean, Airbnbs in Exuma aren't like, oh wow, so many choices.
Right.
So it's either like, especially like two bedroom ones. You could like have a whole like bedroom house, whatever. $1 bajillion. But yeah. So just the two bedroom ones, like a small like condo, are a little bit more limited. And we had looked, and I hadn't booked. And then we looked a week after and it was all almost gone. So,
Uh,
but ultimately, I feel like the first 2 weeks of April, il va faire vraiment beau. Like,
oh
no
yeah.
kind of, you know what I mean? No kind of, I mean, there's always a chance, but way less chances of rain or cold. 25 for me is cold. I want 33 feels like 47 every
25
fucking
is
day.
gold. She is ridiculous, you guys, when it comes to
Yeah,
weather.
no,
Do you not know this about herself?
listen,
Like, only happy like in extreme heat, zero wind, not even a
I don't want any air. Listen, I know I'm ridiculous, very self-aware that my demands are ridiculous, but like I feel like my soul was not supposed to be in New Brunswick, Canada. Like I like got born in the wrong era of my life, or maybe in the last where Jose was before she was looked like this. She used to live somewhere very, very hot, and it just like kept being a part of my spirit.
Oh wow. Okay, your reincarnation.
Yeah, of course.
I feel like though, hear me out.
Okay.
You're gonna disagree, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Like when I lived in Australia,
Okay.
it's just nice all the time.
Oh, imagine.
And it's like maybe you don't appreciate it as much.
Fair.
Like here, like yesterday being 10 degrees, everyone's like, everyone's like so happy, and then like summer comes and you like really make the most of it.
Okay. I mean, fair point. I don't.
Now, having said that, it does get colder in Australia in the winter than maybe some people think. Like, so Neil and I rented a van to drive around New Zealand,
Mhm.
and I was just like, oh, we're just driving in a van. It was like 2 degrees.
Mm.
It was cold living in the
Oh,
van. So it does get cold in the winter in Australia. So like I take it back, but I'm just saying I've lived in countries where the seasons are not as drastic,
mhm.
and I do love four seasons.
Okay.
Saying it.
Okay. So I think for me also, I'm not very ultimately 100% satisfied with summers here. Again, not hot enough. So it's like I'm not satisfied 100% of the time. But you know what I mean? Like only am I satisfied where there's a red screen. Heat warning. Fucking heat warnings. Love heat warnings.
Oh my
Oh my
goodness.
God. Why? I don't know, but
Who
I
you
do.
are.
Yeah, it's who I am.
Who
Listen.
you are.
So hopefully it'll be very hot 24/7. Like I'm imagining like I wake up, I put on a bikini. I might put like a pair of like salopette overalls, but always with a bikini underneath or a bathing suit. and just like that's how what we live. Like I don't want like I need a sweater. Okay,
No,
no
absolutely not. You're
sweaters.
not going to need a sweater.
I really hope not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
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 So I was talking about this topic the other day, and I feel like we need to bring it to the podcast.
Mhm.
So I am declaring myself a very consistent human being.
Yes, I like that.
Thanks. What I am also declaring myself though is scrappy AF.
Mm.
So I'm consistent, but nothing's like perfect. Nothing's aesthetic. There's for sure a spelling mistake.
Yeah.
Um,
She hasn't learned how to write women. Women has an E,
nope,
not an
it's
A.
over. It's over. Can't
Always
make
an
me.
A. It's like you're like, it's an A all the time. But
Yep.
like, I'm leaving it. I'm like, it's fine. All
Yep.
the woman will come.
It's part of my brand.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah. But it's not like scrappy, scrappy. Like, I mean, you're not a fucking disaster. You know what I mean?
No, I'm
But
not a disaster.
I know what you mean by it's not perfect.
No,
You know what I mean? Like it's not curated and like, yeah.
it's
No,
not
it's totally
curated.
fine.
And just when I'm finding minutes to do things, like I have to be scrappy. I have to like take it. Just like, okay, now's your you wanted to make muffins. Now's your time. One, two, three, go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Like you're not like waiting for the perfect amount of time in between. Like just recently being even more consistent with my workouts. Like obviously the getting back into weight training was like step one, show up at the gym.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Step two, go consistently. And then January, I did good, but it wasn't as consistent as I wanted to be. So it's like, okay, February, you're going to go 4 times a week for 4 weeks. Like
A lot.
it is a lot.
Yeah.
And this week has just been really busy with just like appointments and like things. And like the pockets of time in between aren't perfect.
Mm.
So there's times where I have to just adjust.
It's like showing up at the gym with your jeans. So, that's all I had.
I mean,
Like at the end of the day, like this is it. Sepo perfect. Let's put on, let's like lift something. No,
honestly,
oh
and
my
I
God.
think maybe I'm reflecting so much on that because, and when I shared about that on my stories, a lot of people connected because I think adjusting is almost the opposite of all or nothing.
Mm.
So when you're all or nothing, it's like you're lacking that ability to adjust.
I really don't connect with all or nothing. Like it's like I'm like, stop saying that, stop labeling yourself as that because ultimately you're doing nothing. Like stop
Well, when you're doing nothing, you're doing nothing, but there's maybe 3 days where you're doing all.
all.
And then there's
But the consistency is nothing. So it's
exactly,
not there. So like your results are nothing.
exactly.
Yeah.
Your results are nothing.
Yeah.
But when people are cycling between perfection, exactly this,
Yeah.
and then nothing,
Yeah.
they're not getting the results.
Do you feel do you feel like I just raised my hand? Do you feel like the reason why, another reason why we can be so consistent is because like we've really tuned into our way. Like I think that people like they're like, oh, how do you? I'm like, I really don't need all this motivation and discipline and all these things to like show up because I really like it. I really want this. So I
Oh,
don't know what else to say
100%.
sometimes. I'm like, I just like really want this. So, and I've always said that like people were at the beginning, now not so much because I feel like people haven't seen me in a bigger body in a very long time. So they like forget that that was my life. But like at the beginning, you lose the weight, and everyone's always asking you, like, you know, you're 1 year in of maintaining and 2 years in and maintain. Now I'm like 20 years in. So they're like, oh, well, this is it. She's actually done it. But they're like, oh, you really kept it off. Keeping it off is really the mystery. It's really the like, whoa, like that's special, you know? And I'm like, yeah, it is. That's when you really did it your way and you actually changed your life. You didn't just like change the size of your pants. Um, but anyways, I remember answering, I remember getting those comments a lot. And everyone that was commenting that had not kept their weight off was like, oh, well, for them, life had happened.
I
So
was
it's
just
like,
going to say that.
yeah, it was like life happened. Like, oh, well, then we moved and then whatever. So they had like a reason why they had not kept their weight off, ultimately saying that my life had not happened in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. And I remember one person, I just like had lost patience. And I said, I guess I just wanted that more than you. I think that's all it is because I can't pinpoint that it's easy or that like it was just like I just want it more and it's what I keep choosing. Like I don't know what else to say to you. Like I also life happened to me too. You know what I mean? So and I think that we just stayed connected to what we want and what I wanted when I was like 19 is not what I want now. Like what I do and how I maintain or how I stay consistent is not one look.
Exactly. And so you've adjusted your look
Yes,
over
exactly.
time. Do you know what
Yeah.
I mean? And
You have to.
again, it's like people have this perception of what it's going to look like for them to lose weight, or even just they wake up and they're like, okay, today I'm going to do this, 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 and this. And then life happens. And if you do not have the skill of adjusting, you go, it's a disaster. I messed up. Like, how often does my day go identical to the way that I intend it to go in the
Not
morning?
often.
Like, one out of 30 days in the month.
Yeah.
Like, it just because I'm like, oh, I don't want to eat that anymore, or I need to shorten my workout because of this, or
Or I
whatever.
feel
So,
sick or I feel tired today.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it's like that skill without drama to me.
Okay. Do you think that it's like shit, I had something. When you okay, is it I'm willing to do this, the list of what their day is going to look like? If it looks like this. But if it doesn't feel and look like this, I'm out. Because for us, like it's like you're gonna work out whether it's here or there and whatever. So it's like if it doesn't fit here, I'm gonna find another pocket because I want to do this thing, you know? So like I feel like people set up their day it with shit they don't really want to do, but they'll do it if it fits perfectly at 1
I
p.m.
see.
You know what I mean? But if it doesn't fit at 1 p.m., I don't want to do this at 2 p.m. You know, but it's like, but if you really wanted to do it, you would be like, shit, I didn't get to do it. I need to fit it somewhere else, you
And
know?
again, that's adjusting. Like, you have, like,
Yes.
so
Yes.
you have to fit it, and it might be a shorter walk than you had planned, and you might need to tell your husband to pick up the kid instead of you, but you'll make it happen. So
But
let's
you
almost
need to
like
want, yeah, you need to want it. Yeah.
so like look at this conversation almost from the umbrella of, first of all, ask yourself, do I actually want to do this thing? Like, because then if you the answer is
Context.
no, you don't need our conversation. You need different things.
Yeah.
But there are people that there's things in their umbrella that they do want to do, but they are not consistent because they lack the skill of adjusting.
Yeah.
It's like it is a skill.
Yeah. I see. Yeah.
Um,
And also like seeing the benefits of the scrappy, seeing the benefits of the half-ass, and like that's not sold on the internet leash. Like if you look at like there's a whole side of the internet that's like it's not about scrap, it's you fucking show up and you discipline and you do the whole thing and you're a badass and this is when the best workout, and sometimes it's not, sometimes it's not the best workout. You just showed up, you did half. And then if that's all you see on the internet, that like you suck because you didn't push through and whatever, then you're like, oh, it's not the right time in my life right now. And like you find like, no, you showed up like next tomorrow. So that's why you got to have your back. Got to be confident what you're doing. You got to do things because you want to, not because the internet is scaring you to do them. Like it's like we need to have be our own, like, you know,
and again, you need to know that perfection is not what's required for results. It's consistency.
consistency.
And consistency will come from doing things you actually want to do
Yeah.
and staying connected to them and adjusting them when they don't work.
Yeah.
Another time I think adjusting is so important too is when things are stagnant. So, like, let's say you're doing something, you're being consistent with it, but it's not getting you the results.
Okay.
Sometimes people are really hesitant to try something different, even though they're like, oh, you're telling them this, and they're like, well, I'm doing this. And then you say, like, is that getting you the results you're looking for?
That
And they're like,
working.
no, but they're hesitant to change it.
Yeah. I'm like, is that working?
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I would say that even about like thoughts and beliefs. Like I think that like I'm like, how is that belief system working for you?
Yeah.
You know, like I believe that I need to fast to lose weight and I need to blah, blah, blah. Like, how's that working for you? That belief right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't believe in calorie deficit. How is that working for you right now?
Yeah.
Like it's like that self-awareness. We talked about that last week. Like how are you not like there's a lot. I mean, and again, we've been in this line of work for a long time, you guys. So our self-awareness is higher because of the type of people we are, but also we see like we're so like we have so many conversations and we're like, how is this person not noticing what they're saying? And maybe they are, but it's just like the moment and it's like they're gonna go back and be like, holy shit, that was like, what was I even saying? But sometimes no, they're not recognizing. I'm like, how is that working for you? I think I'm not losing weight because I'm not eating enough. How is that working for you right now? This belief, this you put that out there. Let's talk about that. So why haven't you been eating more? Like that's not hard. Like so, and then they're like, "Ah, I'm afraid." Okay, well, if you really thought like it's a so like you're not like your belief system is really stopping you. So it's like, how is that working for you? And ultimately, if everything's aligned and you're loving your results, you're loving how you feel, whatever, you're not having these conversations. You're moving on. You're doing your
Yeah.
thing, you know?
But if you're feeling stagnant, guys, like, or if you're currently not getting the results you're looking for,
Yeah.
be curious. Like,
Yes, try things.
you're not wasting, time's not wasted. Let's hope we have all the time in the world. Like, adjust your plan. I mean, how many times do people ask, like, how much should I eat? When should I eat? How many meals should I eat? It's like, start with where you are.
Mhm.
Are you getting results? Find things you enjoy, adjust, like, tweak it, see how it goes, adjust. Like, if you are not getting the results you're looking for, it's not over. The
But
next
no, we
step is adjusting.
like tweaks and also like I definitely connect with everything that you're saying. And I'm like thinking of like just myself. And I'm like, so yesterday I have not walked in what 5 months, like outside. Like I don't know that I don't remember the last time I went for a walk.
Okay.
Because it's just not no longer a part of like what lights me up. So it's like, meh, no, I would rather go for a fitness class. But
Yep.
then yesterday it was 7 degrees, hearing, I heard the snow melting. I could hear the smell, like just the water dripping. Oh, and the sun was shining and I was feeling a little bit like I need air. I need to deep breath. I don't need to burn calories. That wasn't it. I don't need to. It was like Tom had sent me a podcast to listen to, and I was like, look at this opportunity right now. And I had like time. There was like, oh my god, like I could fit in before the kids arrive with the bus. 30 minutes, okay? Literally this is probably the slowest pace walk I've ever had, but that the whole point was breathing. So like just like, oh, I haven't been outside. It feels really good. I still like literally wore so many layers because I didn't want to be cold. But like it worked out. It was great. Like it's not like now I need to walk 4 times a week. Like it's just yesterday it worked out. It was what I wanted to do. Today I'm gonna go for a lunch. I want a lunch class. I want to go try Felicia's class. Like it's just we can definitely be more flexible. Now we are lucky that we have that flexibility, but at the same time, that's us adjusting. We could also just like sit there. How many people work from home and are not doing that as well?
Absolutely.
So like,
Um, and that's maybe a different topic. I just wrote it down because it's good. Grabbing opportunities.
oh yeah, seeking opportunities and being mindful. Being mindful is seeking opportunities.
Because you see the space. You don't
Mhm,
see all the doors shut, you see them
mhm.
open.
And I'm sorry, like Alicia said, like it's the same for me. Like literally, there's a window. There's about 7 minutes between this one and
100%.
I mean, guys, we're busy. You guys know our lives. Like, we're not just like, so it's like, okay, I have about a 40-minute window here. I could go lift weights in the basement. No. And I'm like, okay, just do 3 reps, whatever. Like, it's really just come amache esclave, lo. So, like, if there's anything that's very common between Alicia and I, as much as there are so many things that how we choose to live our lives is different, those like things that make us consistent are very similar. Like we
Yeah.
just like we kind of just do our thing. We're not hard on ourselves. We see the value of just showing up. We are not all or nothing.
No.
Very consistent humans in our own way. And we find and we like have our backs with like this works for me. I don't journal, she journals, I do something else. Like it's like I talk or I reflect a lot or I listen to weird podcasts about deep things, you know? So it's like we just like we are who we are. We are our own people. But I think that it's important that we share what really is very similar in regards to why we're consistent with our own lives, you know?
I agree. But they're so different, but we're still consistent. And we just want you guys to feel like you can be consistent. And just if you're listening to this, ask yourself, like, am I a person that adjusts easily? Like, how does it like, or is it like really like, you
Yes.
know?
Yeah.
And is that
And
something?
I also want to ask our audience, do you have strict timelines about things? If you have, like, we don't have strict timelines about things. Like when I in August was like, I'm gonna start lifting things and putting them down. Like it was literally it. I was like, I just like want to kind of, I didn't know what that was gonna look like. I didn't know like what classes I was gonna do, but it was like I just like want to put that out there where I'm going to intentionally do more. I'm very much a more or less, not 7-2. Like more and less. Less of this, more of that. Nothing is, and we're also not labelers. We don't like to label like now I'm a fitness. Like it's just now I lift things and I used to not. And now I used to walk and now
I
but
mean,
we're so consistent with moving our bodies.
I ran for 7 minutes the other day, so I'm a runner
You're
now,
a runner
in
now.
case you're wondering.
Half marathon.
Almost died.
Running is hard.
Oh, ben, oh, ben.
Running is hard. Oh, bad. Guys, I ran a half marathon and I never ran again.
I'm just trying to like now that I'm lifting weights more, I'm not walking as much, right? And it's
Uh,
like I don't want to go to the gym for an hour and then go for an hour walk. Like mom has shit to do.
it's not the season of your life. Like at one point of our lives, Alicia, the season we'll be in, we'll be able to do like 3 hours. I cannot wait. But
I
at this
I
point,
don't know. Looking
oh,
at Alfie yesterday, he is like looking like such a teenager.
you're close. Plus, like if Dia can just turn 12, look, she'll watch Noah. Peace out, everyone.
I mean, that's my life right now,
I
but
know.
just looking at him and seeing like one day he's going to be living his own life.
Yeah, he's gonna have a mustache.
He already does.
Okay,
Like
there you
we
go.
shaved it. Like we're there.
Like I said, I had said this at the Inconvenient Woman. Like I was like, I recognize that like Noah's gonna be like a man with a mustache one day. So right now I'm gonna eat his face because I won't eat his face at all times. I love eat like just all of it. And I'm gonna squeeze the fact that his bum is this wide and wears like size 2 panties. You know what I mean? Like I don't
Panties.
panties, like little like boxer briefs.
Oh, yeah.
Um, I just like am like I just want to touch their little bodies because they're not always going to be little bodies. You know what I mean? So I'm like being more present that because I really enjoy that part of their little bodies. There's other shit that I don't enjoy, but the tininess, so I'm like, okay, one day he's not. So just like be present. But I'm also like when he has a mustache, he's going to work. I'm going to a fitness class.
Yeah.
Bye. So it's like I feel like we just need it is what it is. I can't stop it. He's gonna like that's actually what I hope happens. You know what I mean? Because that means that I'm still here and that he's still like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's good. It's how life should be.
I know. I'm just seeing it flash before my very
Yeah.
eyes. It seems to be going really
It's
quickly.
quick. Yeah. Dia was talking to me this morning, and for her, for some reason, Noah, it's like I forgot his whole existence for the first like 3 years of his life.
Okay.
Like I literally took 2 weeks off and then I went straight to like it was like our busiest time.
Also, you were building a home.
Yeah, building a
You
home
remember
and
the
your
trauma?
weight loss like doubled in a minute. It was just like I was just like so like invested in my work. No regrets. I mean I felt that felt good to me at that time. Right now I'm more like slowing down in that sense. But Dia, it's like I was so more present and I can see her big blue eyes and her face. And when she talks to me, it's like I can see her as a literally an
Baby.
infant, a toot tit toot tit. And then I'm like, oh, like I know you're growing up and you're a big, like you're tall and you're whatever, but like, oh, you're that part. You know what I mean?
I
But
also think it's partly to do with the fact that he's your second child because
yes,
I feel the same way. Because like the first, there's only one, and like
yes,
everything is about them. You know what
everything,
I mean?
all the attention. I agree. Yeah, but totally agree. So there's something about her that I can more, and then Noah, I see pictures and I'm like, oh, bah. It's like it's an interesting part of being a parent.
Yeah.
This seeing them growing up and like we don't feel we change and we do. Like I see pictures of myself 10 years ago. I'm like, I'm a baby. But like it's like because we're being so like every day in our bodies. But then with them, it's like, oh my God, do you remember this? Or like, so it's an interesting but fun part of time passing.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
everyone.
anyway, guys, we just hope that this, podcast empowers you guys to reflect and think
Yeah.
about your skill of adjusting. And, are you waiting for the perfection before you take action? Are you able to take an obstacle, which is, one last little thing here. Like, I often hear people tell me why they can't be consistent with something, and they're just listing life. Like life is going to happen every single day, you guys. So
And
you need
yeah.
a plan, you need a system that you can exist your life and execute your system.
Yes. And say out loud. with the life, maybe you're going through shit right now. With this life, I don't want to prioritize minutes to work out, to plan, to journal, to meal prep, whatever. Like, just don't say, oh, it's life, because then you'll always divert to that. Always make sure that it is a choice regarding the season of life you're in. Like, example, like I was trying to say to someone they're like, oh, are you staying for the second class? Let's say I'm in boot camp. They're like, oh, are you staying for whatever? And I'm like, no, like I have to be a mom, whatever. They're a mom. They're staying. So I'm like, no, I am choosing to go. Like, so it's not because I'm a mom. I want to, you know what I mean? I'm like, the person I'm talking to is a mom. She's staying for two classes. So clearly, no, I need to go home. I want to go home. I was here this morning, or this is enough for me today.
I'm prioritizing time with my kids
Yeah,
instead of
it's a choice. Yeah, exactly. I'm
it's
like,
the
take your
ownership.
time. Yeah, it's the ownership, and you might not think that it matters, but it does. It
Oh,
really does. It changes like your whole self-awareness, which we talked about last week. Okay, so that you can feel connected with what you're choosing. Okay, all right,
so
everyone.
many things.
So many things, two great conversations, honestly, the last 2 weeks. And we'll see you next week. It'll be more an up to date. We'll talk about Alicia's little trip in PEI, how that went. And yeah, have a great week, you guys. Bye.